What's going on, my city people? What's going on, my city people? MotorCityMan here, back with another video, man. It's been a lot on my mind since this last month has passed. I actually left town. I left Detroit early March, came back probably like that second, third week of April. I had to readjust myself back with the ways of the city, you know what I mean? But I always embrace, one thing about me, I always embrace being a Michigander, being from like the inner city of Michigan, you know what I mean, Detroit. But you know, when you actually like from Detroit, when you like up and coming of age, inside the inner city of Detroit, you notice how the people are. You get in tune with who the people are, how the people are of the city. You know what I mean? It's like everything ain't so pleasant. Obstacles, certain people you gotta get through, get past in order to become who you're supposed to become, which is the best version of yourself. And it takes you to go through challenges, be challenged by people, authority, peers, family, just the social construct of your city in general to like become better, to improve, to like, you know what I mean, become who you're supposed to become. But growing up, I've understand like the environment in which I was raised in which I'm still like part of, you know what I mean? But people want so much as people, man, growing up. Like you start to understand that though, like people ain't really people. Like, yeah, it's good people here. It's good people with bad habits. And then there's like people that's just messed up, man, fucked up, lost. Sometimes, in most cases, they take their situation out on other people because the perception of them, the perception that they have on us is altered. And it took me a while to understand it was for my protection. Like, the perception of who I was to people around me being misunderstood, it was altered. It was, you know what I mean, for a reason, for my protection, because people be hating, man. And like, ain't nobody gonna tell you they jealous of you, ain't nobody gonna tell you they hating on you, man. You just gotta like figure that shit out. You gotta be able to read between the lines, put two and two together, you know what I mean? Excuse a little horn, you know, it get crazy out here, man, in Detroit. Motor City, man, all we hear is fucking cars, sirens, all type of things, man. But that's part of being here, man. There ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with being in the quiet too, just hearing the birds, just hearing the wind, you know what I mean? Connecting with the earth more. But like, you start to notice the habits, the bad habits people pick up, man. And it's like, bro, you don't want to conform to that shit. Like, maybe you conform to like certain habits and certain ways of doing shit. Maybe you indulge in like certain drugs, or like, I don't want to say it like that, but like, you know what I mean, maybe you indulge in like smoking weed, or like me, or like, you know, some of you all or might have experienced people in your life that's overused liquor, like you know what I mean, indulged in like liquor and shit like that, drinking, and you understand like sometimes that shit get the best of people, man. Whatever we indulge in, like sometimes we use too much of it, and like there's no balance. And at that point, for some people, it's no return. You know, like people don't know how to balance out the vices that they have or dealing with in their lives, and it could become a problem for you. if you're around it for too long, and that shit can have an effect on you. You start to notice like people just do all type of different drugs, you know, like pills, all type of stuff. People be drinking. Like, I ain't knocking nothing, man. Like, do what you do, man. Just try to balance it out and don't be trying to like influence others, man, to do what you do. You know what I mean? Cause that ain't right. That ain't cool, man. That ain't just. You know what I mean? It's all about being just. It always was about being just, especially in these times. But like, it's like, man, people overindulge over time in like devices, drugs, smoking, whatever you want to do, popping pills, and it's like, this shit became The Walking Dead in a way, man. People became like zombie-like people with the drugs and stuff they became addicted to, like, you know what I mean? And excuse me, it's like flies all around, you know what I mean? I'm in the backyard, man, connected with the ground, you know what I mean? On my gazer. Shout out to Spiritual Soul, man, for real. He from Detroit, man, so he know what time I'm on, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting this video in, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, though. I got to work later on, so you know I'm ahead of schedule, so I got to get a video in, man. I got to connect with y'all, man. I love YouTube. I love connecting with people, man. For so long, I kind of like stayed to myself in a way to where I was holding myself back. I was still social, still had my friends, my peers I was around, but I was still holding myself back. But now I know it's time for me to like fully open up so that more possibilities can come my way. But over time, like, you start to notice, like, even with being here in Detroit, like, this shit kind of became The Walking Dead in a way, in a sense, cause like people kind of conform to their lower selves with it, overindulging in like devices, the drugs and stuff, and it took a toll on society, relationships, families overall, and people became unaware of the impact, the negative impact it had on the people around them. You know, some people bring that shit into like the workplace. Some people like they give off negative traits. They like, you know what I mean, showcase their bad habits to like their siblings, their peers, you know what I mean? It's like the influence itself is the influence and the vice itself is what's destroying people, and like to the point where there's no return, there's no coming back, which is why it's up to us ourselves to understand what we're doing daily and understand like it's okay to like, you know what I mean, if marijuana come from the earth, you know what I mean? I don't know about drinking. I was in the lab, some shit. But marijuana, like, it's a plant. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's okay to smoke, but you don't never want to overindulge. Like, I can honestly say I overindulged in it for years, and it took a toll on me financially, physically, mentally. And it took me a while to like really get myself together, try to realign with myself. So it's been over a whole month since I've actually smoked, you know what I mean, and drank. So I never was really a drinker. I'll probably take me a shot or something if it's the right type of, you know what I mean, occasion or whatever. But over time, man, people overindulged in like that stuff, man. And to me, like the city, like people, some of the people, I can't really say the whole city. That ain't fair. That ain't really, you know what I mean, intelligent to really say, because not everybody does drugs. You know what I mean? Not everybody smoke. Not everybody drink. Not everybody pop pills or whatever they do. But majority of like people in the city, though, they kind of like conform to them lower selves, and it kind of became like The Walking Dead in a way where people kind of grew into a zombie-like state because of the drugs they're on and addicted to, you know what I mean? And it played a role in the ones who actually wanted to have their life together, who indulged in whatever it is they indulged in at the time, but realized it wasn't conducive to their future or lifestyle, and they wanted to change, or, you know what I mean, at least slow down or make adjustments with their life. And they kind of made them a target to the people who conform to them lower selves, who didn't think about self-development or, you know what I mean, getting better, being the best version of themselves. And in that situation, it created friction in all different sorts of relationships, whether that's the workplace, friends, family, you know what I mean. It created some sort of friction, and like, people have to understand, ain't no staying the same. There's no staying the same. You either getting better or you getting worse. There's no staying the same. Ain't no way. We either getting better or we getting worse. And it's like, it's okay to indulge in whatever you is, but just make sure you have a balance to it. Balance is vital to our survival, you know what I mean? But for me, it was really just smoking. Like, I still had an urge to smoke, man, but it was throwing me off. It was throwing my energy off, and it played a role in me being addicted to corn. Like, I gotta put that out there, man. Like, I'm gonna have another video on that and how, like, people be playing on your energy and stuff, but it kind of like enhanced my addiction to corn. I don't want to say the P word, man, but y'all know what I'm talking about. All the fellas out there who struggle with it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have another video coming out about my journey on retention and how it's having a positive impact on my current situation, as far as physical and like mental. But yeah, man, like over time, people overindulged into drugs and became into kind of like grew into a zombie-like state. Because when you smoking, your mind is altered. You're not fully like, your brain ain't really functioning how it should. Like, I smoke, I always told people, like, I smoke to alter my thinking, but because I'm a critical thinker at heart, you know what I mean? I'm always using my head, trying to at least, you know what I mean? I'm always thinking about stuff. Sometimes I'm thinking about what happened before, you know what I mean? I try not to dwell on the past or, you know what I mean, what's going on right now too much. But it's like, I gotta think, I gotta problem solve. So I'm a critical thinker. I think about my relationships, my business, family, you know what I mean? So I'm always thinking, but now in these days I feel like you can overthink, and like too much thinking can be a problem, especially when you don't know how to lead your thoughts, which is why I had to try to slow myself down mentally and like figure out how to actually scale my mind up to a point where my thoughts are fully aligned with my higher self and with the Most High. Because I tell you what, man, when you in like certain environments, people be praying down on you, and it kind of alters your thinking a little bit, man, because it's all about the collective consciousness. And like, man, some people, they don't know how to use their mind, and like, man, it gets crazy, man. I'm gonna come out with another video with that, but here in this video, I just want to talk about being able to open up to yourself about your problems or insecurities, lack of self-awareness, to the point where you start to work on yourself, you start to inner heal, and you start to come to understanding about the vices in your life that was self-depleting your journey of life, and your full connection with being here on earth, with living, connecting with the planet, man, the environment, and the ones who live, man, the universe of the walking dead, man. The ones who live, the ones who love. The ones who live are the ones who love, the ones who know how to heal from trauma, the ones who don't play that victim mentality role, the ones who know how to create, problem solve, work with others, work with themselves, treat others right with respect, with courtesy, kindness, love, compassion. Them the ones who live, man. The ones who know how to stay to themselves or be around other people in a positive aura, in a positive light, with a positive influence. Those are the ones who live, the ones who know how to help others and, uplift others, empower others, encourage others to do better, not to do wrong, to do better, possibly better than them. As parents out here who have kids, being able to raise them into a better person, better than you, them the ones who live, man. The ones who know how to forgive and come to understanding that there's other people that's unique other than you, like that's different than you. Not saying that's not saying they're better than you, but understanding that there's people that's not the same as you. In a way, when it comes to like business, or when it comes to like being athletic, or when it comes to like being intelligent, when it comes to like computer science or book intelligent, book smart. Everybody unique for their own way, but it's like some people, man, they've been like programmed to think people are supposed to be just like them. People are supposed to follow them in their ways and their ways of doing stuff, understanding. When we was all supposed to be taught and raised to lead ourselves to victory, lead ourselves into the hands of the Almighty. The ones who live understand that you can't be out here hating on nobody or wishing down on nobody, praying on nobody downfall, because we all grew up different. We all think different for a reason. Like I was saying earlier, the perception of who I am to other people, maybe my friends, the workplace, it was altered for a reason. Like I always knew growing up. I don't know what it was. I always knew growing up, like the people around me, my homeboys from around the hood who I played basketball with or whatever, I always knew the perception of who I am to them was altered for a reason, because I was still growing as a person. I was still figuring myself out. So in a way to where I'm still holding myself back. Yeah, I'm being myself, right? Yeah, middle school, high school, I'm being myself, but I'm still holding myself back because I know I ain't got myself figured out. So if I ain't got myself always figured out, how the hell are they supposed to think they got me figured out? You might know what I was on. You might know what I got going on, but you ain't got me figured out all the way. Only God. And I ain't got them all the way figured out. I don't think. But thing about me, man, I know how to read people though, but I'm not the person that's like trying to figure somebody out, like trying to easily judge somebody, or easily compare somebody to somebody I already know in my life. I'm not that type of person. I do what I do to protect myself. I be trying to tell people, like, if I'm in an environment to where I don't know nobody, I ain't just trying to easily judge somebody, trying to like just try to figure everybody out. No, I be myself. I trust in God. I remain in faith that people are who they say they are. I remain in faith and believe people are who they say they are. It's only when the situation occurs to where you know that person was just, they weren't really being themselves. They was had some facade. But the thing about me, I never was trying to put up a facade. I was actually trying to become the person who I wanted to become, because I always knew my purpose, and being able to support people when they know their purpose and when they know their truth, when they walk in their truth, those are the ones who live. Being able to understand people, come to grasp about who a person is, even if they not like you. But you still show respect, you still show kindness, you still show compassion. Those are the ones who live. The ones who know how to use their heart and forgive and still respect and treat others that did them wrong in the past. Those are the ones who live. It took me a minute to figure that out. Over time, it seemed like the city itself, the people of the city itself became the walking dead, which I don't want to believe, but to my perception, which is never false, that's what it came out to be, because people be hating on people, and I ain't got no hate in my heart. You practically, you gotta learn that, man. Just how you gotta learn how to love. It's how you learn how to crawl before you walk. You gotta learn how to hate somebody or be jealous of somebody. I never gave off that energy, and I'm pretty sure there's people who I was around that wanted me to give off that energy so bad, so they can have a reason why not to, you know what I mean, come around, or, you know what I mean, be cool with me. And it's fucked up to think like that, man. Hey, we live in a crazy society, man. Like, our people and stuff, just by being black, just by being in the skin I'm in, it come with a lot, man. Us black folk, we undefeated, man. We're undefeated for sure. It's a story within a story, but people be trying to hate on everything about who a person is, man, down to their name, to their energy, oral energy, everything. It's like people be trying to energy match with people, downplay people's energy, and I'm gonna get into that in whole nother video, man. But being able to care for others, man, where they don't really showcase the same thing, it's still something that we need to keep in mind and like move on, because we in some times where, man, considering ain't really too common. Being considerate ain't really too common within the black community, I should say. You know what I mean? Like, it's young guys like me, such as myself, who have businesses and like stuff we want to like really develop and get into, but the support is never there. The right support is never there. And I'm in a space mentally, spiritually, to where I'm not really trying to be a company to no fake love, to no fake friendship. I'm not speaking on any relationships I've had or have now, but I'm saying I'm better off alone. So if I can like figure some shit out by myself and work with others, imagine how much I can get done working with people who really want to help me and who I can really help. Imagine that. I ain't out here bashing nobody or nothing, because we all different, we all struggle with ourselves, but that's the thing, we are constantly in a battle with ourselves, in a fight with ourselves, excuse me. Hey man, listen, my brain cognitive function off, man. Hey, I ain't perfect, I'm a stutter, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I'm definitely working on communicating effectively, because I'm a businessman. I gotta speak, I gotta communicate, I gotta network, connect with others, you know. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, man, it's time we realize what we're doing in our lives, and it's time to like really go down the right direction, especially if you want to get back to the Creator. If we want to get back just with ourselves. If we want to get back on the right time with Almighty. Because I've been in flash time. Since the beginning of May, I've been in flash time. What's today? June 3rd? It's Monday. A whole new week. You can turn your life around this week. It start with you. It start with working it. It start with the inner workings of yourself. I'm not perfect. I'm still working on myself. It's a daily fight. That's the thing. We gotta take this day to day, baby. We got to, man. We have to understand. We need order. law and balance in our lives, to become just with Almighty, to become just with ourselves. It's something to think about, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all up for too long, man. Shout out to y'all, to my city people. Shout out to the MotorCityMan. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Go ahead, chill out, man. Do what you do, but just know it's okay to have balance in your life. I'm not telling nobody. I'm not trying to knock what nobody do. I'm not trying to downplay nothing nobody doing. We all adults. We gonna do what we gonna do regardless. But just try to establish some type of balance to where your health conditions don't decline rapidly, to where you're not self-depleting yourself physically, spiritually, or financially. Because that's what happened to me, and it took me to be challenged by authority, by Almighty. Ultimately, it was the workings from Almighty, though, from working through others to challenge me into reaching my higher self, to get me back realigned with myself and understanding what I was doing wrong in order to keep doing right. The ones who live, man, and the ones who embrace the light inside of the darkness in order to reach the higher version of themselves, in order to become the best version of themselves. The ones who live. The ones who live are the ones who see the glory of God, who get to witness the glory of God within themselves. I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace.